Are you tired of eating chicken and rice every day? Eating healthy doesn't have to suck. Here's how to enjoy real food without hating every meal. When I was 17, just starting out in the gym, I followed the standard advice that everyone would give of, I have chicken and rice. Yeah, chicken and rice is the best for bodybuilding. It's the best for building muscle. So I was having chicken and rice multiple times a day, every day. And I didn't build the body that I wanted because I just wasn't being consistent with my eating because it was boring as shit, man. It was so boring eating just chicken and rice, like, oh my god. Can I eat anything else? I switched to couscous eventually, and I enjoyed that a lot more because it tasted, you get different flavors. But I felt guilty because I was like, it's not really what I should be eating. But, I didn't realize at the time there's no 100% correct way to eat. As much as people will praise, the best diet, I've said it before, it's the best diet. There is no one size fits all. A diet may work for you, it may not work for someone else. The hell is that? Yeah, a diet may work for you, but it may not work for someone else. So, don't just follow standard advice, test things. See how things work for you, see how you feel on and off a diet for a week. Obviously, never just go and eat a bunch of shit. Dirty bulking, awful. But on the opposite side of that, the best way that you can try to eat healthy, in my opinion, and that works for most people, is eating clean. What that means is single ingredient, unprocessed foods. And the quickest way that I can give you an analogy for this is a block of cheese versus the American cheese slices. That's such an easy distinction. One of them is extremely processed and has loads of additives in it. The other is just cow milk in a block. If there's an ingredient list on the back, you shouldn't be eating it. If you ever look at the back of a McDonald's chicken wrap, the ingredient list on the back is absolutely disgusting. You can't even pronounce half the things on there. Trust me, I've tried. I've genuinely looked at it. I've been like, what is sodium benzoate? Why is that in every single thing? So what actually can you eat? This would be nuts, lentils, meat, veg, fruit, dairy, eggs, etc. There's so much that you can eat, and it's not just restrictive because oh my god, the chicken and rice diet is so restrictive, and no one ever praises any other foods when they're talking about it. And if you're stupid like me, you got fooled into thinking, yeah, I can only eat chicken and rice, it's just chicken and rice. I was an idiot. I'd have eggs once or twice a week. But a single ingredient list is okay. You know how I just said if there's an ingredient list on the back? There's one exception to that. If there's one ingredient in it, then that's okay. So, for example, I was looking at some form of pasta the other day, and it had whole wheat flour as the only ingredient in it. And I thought, right, I don't normally eat that many carbs, but this has one ingredient in it. It's not actually that bad for you. Whereas loads of other pastas normally have, low quality pasta, 45 pence in the bloody supermarket. You'll see that and it'll be cornstarch and all this crazy stuff, and it's just awful for you, completely processed, full of sugar. But if it's got one ingredient on the back, and it's not something stupid like mints are just mint and sugar. If it's actually healthy, then that's the best thing that you can have. You should also be increasing your protein amount while reducing your carbohydrate intake. Like I just mentioned, I try and avoid carbs as much as I can. I think that carbs are good in certain circumstances, like before you go to the gym or before you do a hard physical task. They do give you energy, but I think the downsides are definitely there as well. Protein will fill you up better than any other macronutrient, better than fats, better than carbs. It also, leaves you fuller for longer, and it's what we need to build muscle. Honestly, protein is the real, it's the real star macronutrient. Most people think it's carbs. You need carbs to fill you up. You need carbs to fill you up. Everyone told me that when I was a kid. Oh yeah, where's the carbs? When I first started making a meal prep, so I'd make 30 meals in one day, then I could just chuck them in the microwave, bosh, done. I used to have couscous in mine. I'd have chicken, couscous, all that shit. And then I told my mum, oh yeah, I think I want to take the couscous out. Because, it's a lot of carbohydrates. I was just doing research into why carbs are bad for you, And the look on her face, it was just like, what? You've got to have carbs? She literally reminded me of the story the other day. She was like, oh, remember when I thought you had to have carbs every meal? Because I've got her on it, and now she's flying the weight off, It's crazy how addicted people are to carbs, because carbs are just sugar. So, reduce your carbs, up your protein, up your fat, and you'll be flying the weight off, packing the muscle easily. Now you know that healthy eating doesn't actually have to include boring meals. If you want to take your diet to the next level, then you've got to follow, you've got to actually enjoy the process. That's the thing. Because when you have a boring diet, some people find it fun, and some people will just cheat because they want something exciting in their diet. They want some sustenance to it, And I've just made a video on the best diet for building muscle, and it's super varied. There's loads of different things in it, and it's completely clean, It's time to eat clean and get rid of that weight. Go click on that video right now. Hit subscribe. Have a hard day and a great week. Mwah.